MicroStrategy. Who is that person? I don't know them at all. Do I need to know? Should I care? Yes, you should care, because MicroStrategy is the new candidate that might be able to drag down the price of Bitcoin this time. Why? Because MicroStrategy is known as the Bitcoin Treasury. They're the company that holds the most Bitcoin in the world. And the current situation with MicroStrategy is they just announced their latest loss of $670 million. The owner, Michael Saylor, is one of the people who has become a billionaire and could even be called a crypto king for how much he's defended Bitcoin. Let's take a look together at what's going on. Will this billionaire, who was featured prominently on the cover of Forbes magazine, Michael Saylor, be the next potential candidate to be responsible for dragging the market price of Bitcoin down into the dark abyss? You can support our channel by checking out information on MicroStrategy stock drops and more through this QR code, or just hit subscribe. That really helps us out as well. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button to support Psy Money Monster and the whole team, so we can keep making fun and independent videos free from any outside corporate control or influence. Thanks so much to all of our supporters. MicroStrategy's situation is honestly nerve-wracking. It's like a roller coaster about to drop. That's because, as you know, MicroStrategy borrows money to invest in Bitcoin. Let's put a pin in that. I'll go into more detail later. But right now, I just want to give you a little teaser. The billionaires, the ones who have graced the cover of Forbes and earned the title of crypto kings, have already crashed the market twice. The first was Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX. Back then, Sam Bankman-Fried dragged the Bitcoin market down by 65%. Next was Changpeng Zhao, or CZ, from Binance. At that time, he managed to pull the market down by 57%. Both of them ended up visiting jail. But CZ has already been released now. As for Michael Saylor, the owner of MicroStrategy, he's also a billionaire, worth over $8 billion. He's already made it onto the cover of Forbes, following the usual steps, but for now, nothing has happened to him yet. He hasn't done anything yet. It's just a possibility for now. Most recently, MicroStrategy, which had grown by 1,540% since 2020 and had outperformed the S&P 500, has now announced a loss of $670 million. Earnings per share, or EPS, which is the return per share, was expected to be only minus 12 cents, but it ended up being a loss of as much as $3.20. Revenue, which was expected to be $123 million, came in at only $120 million. That's why the EPS surprise was a negative 2,566.67%. Hearing this, you might think, well, isn't the US stock market down right now? Every market is losing money anyway. So what? This company lost just $670 million. So why is everyone making such a big deal out of it? What's the big deal? That's because MicroStrategy is known as the Bitcoin Treasury. It's the company that holds the most Bitcoin in the world. So when this company takes a hit, I'll explain in detail how it can actually drag down the price of Bitcoin. Get ready, everyone. Let's go back to 2013. Michael Saylor, he used to be someone who he didn't want anything to do with Bitcoin. He even tweeted from his own account criticizing Bitcoin and saying it was no different from online gambling, that this coin was worthless. But after that post, he disappeared for a while, did who knows what. And when he came back, he said Bitcoin was the greatest thing ever. After that, Michael Saylor used MicroStrategy to invest in Bitcoin, and the company became the largest holder of Bitcoin in the world. As of January 27th, 2025, MicroStrategy, which now was probably just called Strategy, they currently hold a total of 471,107 Bitcoins. Altogether, this is worth, remember this number well, $29.733 billion. Let me underline this for you, just in case you didn't know. Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategy, actually doesn't just invest in Bitcoin. It's a real company, a software company, but honestly, it's not particularly well known for its software business. Because to be honest, their reputation mainly comes from investing in Bitcoin. If you take a look at MicroStrategy stock and go way back, you'll see that MicroStrategy stock has been around for a long time, since the late 1990s. And the price, well, it stayed in the single digits, maybe just over $10 at most, until it suddenly took off. That was when Michael Saylor started investing in Bitcoin. Michael Saylor took the profits that MicroStrategy made and used them to buy Bitcoin, or to invest in Bitcoin, buying a lot, buying regularly, buying all the time at every price. He bought so much that MicroStrategy became known as the world's first and largest Bitcoin treasury company. That's why the value of MicroStrategy goes up and down along with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes up, MicroStrategy goes up when Bitcoin goes up, and when Bitcoin drops, MicroStrategy drops too, sometimes dropping 8, 9, or even 10%. MicroStrategy follows Bitcoin closely. If Bitcoin goes up by thousands of percent, MicroStrategy goes up too. At one point, MicroStrategy stock price even went above $500. Seeing this trend, Michael Saylor said outright that he has absolute confidence in Bitcoin's qualities, the ultimate confidence. And with that level of confidence, what Michael say, the next word is strategy, an investment strategy that essentially refers to the process of borrowing money to invest in Bitcoin. Michael Saylor has said that he has a highly sophisticated and clever financial strategy. Believe it or not, he finds ways to borrow money to buy Bitcoin, and he can actually get that money completely without the need to pay any interest at all, 0% interest. He does this through MicroStrategy, the company. Companies often issue special bonds called convertible bonds, which are bonds that can be converted at a later date into shares. Think of it like this. It's kind of like selling a type of investment coupon. These coupons are sold with a specific condition that, hey, if the stock price eventually reaches a certain point in the future, this coupon can be exchanged for shares. MicroStrategy issued these convertible bonds, or those coupons, with a total value of up to $2.6 billion US. This is the amount of money they borrow to buy Bitcoin. The condition for these bonds to be converted into shares is that MicroStrategy's stock price must rise by 55% from the date the bonds were issued. The term is 5 years, counting from the date of sale, which means until 2029. And there's another condition, which is if the stock doesn't go up that much and doesn't meet the condition, then it won't be converted into shares. But everyone gets their money back. Those are the terms. That's why there are quite a few investors who are okay with lending money without interest, because they're satisfied with these conditions. The reason people are happy with this arrangement, even though it's an interest-free loan, is that people expect, or you could say they're betting, that MicroStrategy stock will rise enough to reach the point where the bond can be converted into shares, which is a 55% increase. People believe that's achievable. And if, by the time the price gets there, the stock does reach that level, then those who bought the bond today will get shares at a price higher than the face value or coupon price they paid, which means profit. But in this deal, if it doesn't reach that point, investors will still get their principal back in full in 2029. Really? Well, let me point out 2 risks with this deal. The first is a relatively mild risk, one that's manageable. The first mild risk is whether your money will just be tied up doing nothing, since you won't earn any interest for as long as 5 years. That's because, with the terms of this convertible bond, the bond will only convert into shares if MicroStrategy's stock price rises by 55% from the date of the bond sale. If you look at the stock price on the day the bond was sold, which was November 20th, 2024, MicroStrategy stock was trading at over $500 per share. The day after the bond sale was announced, on November 21st, 2024, MicroStrategy stock hit an all-time high of $543 per share, even though it only stayed there briefly. Let's look at the numbers in a simple, rounded way. For the stock to go up by 55%, MicroStrategy stock would have to rise to $775 per share for those convertible bonds to actually convert into stock. Honestly, if they don't convert, it's not a big deal, right? Because Michael Saylor said that if they don't convert, you'll get your principal back. But will you really get it back? This is the second risk. Is it really true that you'll get your principal back? Do you know why? Because when it comes to debtors, no matter what kind of agreement you have, whether it's a verbal agreement, a written contract, or whatever, when they say they'll pay back the debt or return the money, the only thing that actually ensures the debtor will pay us back is they actually have the money to pay us back. So this convertible bond, you see, is basically money that MicroStrategy borrowed to buy Bitcoin, and they did it at a 0% interest rate. Borrowing money to invest like this is really no different from leveraging. Using leverage multiplies your gains or losses. For regular stock traders, when we want to use leverage, what do? We borrow from a broker to buy stocks, and that lets us use leverage, whether it's through call options or by going short or long, things like that. But in those cases, you're borrowing from a broker. In MicroStrategy's case, though, they're even smarter because they're borrowing from investors, usually without interest. However, borrowing to invest is still considered leverage. Let's keep that term in mind for now. This leverage or amplifying power. Now, let's move on to the term bull cycle first. So with MicroStrategy, since they're a major buyer and investor in Bitcoin, the company that has invested the most in Bitcoin in the world, they seem to have a lot of credibility when it comes to Bitcoin, right? Especially micro. The more Bitcoin they buy, the more buzz it creates in the market. There have been constant news reports before this saying that MicroStrategy keeps buying Bitcoin at every price, buying Bitcoin every week, until they recently stopped buying for now. As of the time I'm recording this, they've just paused their purchases. They haven't sold off yet. So as MicroStrategy keeps buying like this, right, they've become a major player. The more they buy, the better the sentiment around Bitcoin gets. And that makes regular investors feel even more like, yeah, Bitcoin. When a big player like this is still investing, people feel it's better to follow along, which increases the likelihood that the price will go up too. What MicroStrategy is doing is actually really beneficial for their own company, because the more they invest in Bitcoin and the more they get the general public to trust and buy into Bitcoin, the higher the price of Bitcoin goes. And as the price of Bitcoin rises, MicroStrategy's stock price also goes up. This kind of pattern is called a bull cycle, where as one thing goes up, the other goes up too, and it just keeps going higher and higher. Some financial analysts have even called MicroStrategy's way of driving up asset prices like this an infinite money glitch, or an endless financial loophole. Some people even call it a Ponzi scheme. As for calling it a Ponzi scheme, I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, because at the very least, MicroStrategy is still a real software company that actually makes money. In reality, the reason Bitcoin's price has gone up that much is because it's not all because of MicroStrategy, right? There are plenty of other factors, and there are companies with much bigger backlogs than MicroStrategy. But even though you can't really call it a Ponzi scheme, people have come up with other names for it. They call it financial engineering. Remember MicroStrategy's borrowing that I just mentioned? MicroStrategy borrowed $2.6 billion from people, right? So that's why it creates leverage. Essentially, this means borrowing money to buy. And this borrowing to buy is what makes MicroStrategy stock have a pretty high premium. The premium here means that MicroStrategy stock price is significantly greater than the underlying market value of the assets it holds, higher than its net asset value, or NAV. Let me emphasize once again that MicroStrategy stock tends to fluctuate significantly according to the price of Bitcoin, right? But let's take a much more detailed look at these specific numbers. As of January 27th, 2025, MicroStrategy holds a total of 471,107 Bitcoins, valued at $29.733 billion. But today, MicroStrategy's current market value is at $90 billion. This means that MicroStrategy's stock price is trading at more than its net asset value, or the actual value of the assets it holds. It's trading at 3 times that amount. MicroStrategy's NAV premium has reached as high as 3.16. You could call this its charm, because if you buy MicroStrategy stock, there's an extra premium, right? But if Bitcoin goes up by 1, MicroStrategy goes up by 3. So buying MicroStrategy stock seems better than investing in Bitcoin. It looks like you'd get richer, but where does the premium even come from? No one really knows where it comes from. It's basically the sentiment of investors who believe that MicroStrategy stock can go up that much. But that so-called premium, which is at 3, there's nothing that guarantees it'll always stay at 3. There's not even a guarantee that it'll always be positive. It could even go negative. It all depends on what most people believe about MicroStrategy stock. And Bitcoin. That's it. And the price of MicroStrategy stock becomes even more precarious when a company called Citron Research shorts MicroStrategy stock. That's why MicroStrategy stock price couldn't stay that high. It dropped. And what's even more nerve-wracking for MicroStrategy now is that, as you can see, the price of Bitcoin isn't really going anywhere. It hasn't dropped, but it hasn't gone up either. It just looks kind of shaky and unstable, and no one really knows which way it's going to go, right? Especially if the price of Bitcoin. If it goes down, MicroStrategy, they borrowed money to invest, right? So if the price of Bitcoin drops, MicroStrategy will be pressured to sell their Bitcoin in order to pay back their debt. And remember how I said that MicroStrategy bought the most Bitcoin in the world, to the point where they're basically called the Bitcoin Treasury? When a big player like that buys, people want to buy too. But if a big player sells, when the big guys sell, smaller investors, everyone will follow, right? When the big players sell, others will start selling too. And of course, in a market like this, it really depends on sentiment. It's all about belief to some extent. If the big players sell and the smaller investors see that, they'll follow suit. When people see others selling, there's a rush to sell. And that's one of the things that can make the price of Bitcoin plummet. It creates a kind of negative loop for MicroStrategy. If the price of Bitcoin drops, MicroStrategy will be pressured to sell their Bitcoin. And once MicroStrategy sells their Bitcoin, others will follow, causing the price of Bitcoin to drop even further. This will put even more pressure on MicroStrategy to keep selling their Bitcoin. At that point, the value of MicroStrategy's assets will spiral downward in a really bad loop, and the company's stock price could also take a sharp hit. Just to clarify everything I've mentioned so far, I should point out that this is about a company called MicroStrategy. Today, they might have changed their name to just Strategy, but it has nothing to do with the word Bitcoin at all. They're completely separate. So if you ask me whether you should invest in Bitcoin, why not just buy Bitcoin and keep it in your own cold wallet? Why would you buy shares of someone else who invests in Bitcoin instead? But anyway, this is exactly why anyone investing in Bitcoin should keep an eye on MicroStrategy, because they have the ability to drag the price of Bitcoin down. Where's the dip? Bring it here so I can wipe it off.